This is a Gorilla Podcast Network production.
Welcome to the Late Night PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show.
Welcome to the Late Night PotLuck Show, episode 17. This is your host, Dave, hanging out here with the crew at the Late Night Owl studio. I'm excited for tonight's guest. But before we begin, this episode is brought to you by M&M Steaks, serving Philly-inspired cheesesteaks with an added twist. Owned by a Bridgeport school teacher and family operated. You can find M&M Steaks all over Connecticut. Look out for their weekly schedule with their locations. You can go ahead and do yourself a favor and follow them on Facebook and Instagram by searching M&M Steaks, MANDMSTEAKS. So you can experience amazing cheesesteaks like the Queen Meister or the tater tots, Manny's favorite over there.
Oh my God.
That is M&M Steaks, from your family to ours. Like that's their motto.
Yep, that is.
Well, thank you, M&M, for that sponsorship. And if you haven't done so already, check out episode 16 where they were our guests, and you could we dive deep into their menu. And once again, thank you for tuning in. And just a reminder, we're now streaming on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and you could also watch this episode and all the others on YouTube. So keep it, do yourself, go and do a search, Late Night PotLuck Show. All right, let's jump in. Episode 17. Let's hear from our crew. Rio, let's start with you. What's on your mind?
Nothing much, though. It's summer. It's like nice sun. Like a lot of food truck festivals out there in Connecticut. On the same days happening, so I say you have to choose wherever you want to go. But you have to pick up a lot of good food truck. Try something new for summer. So
actually, we had there was a food truck festival here, right? Just today. Yeah, that's pretty good. Food truck season.
Yeah, I heard it was. There was one in Hartford, one big one in Hartford. There was one over here, and then I saw another one somewhere else. But definitely, yeah, Rio, you're right. There was a bunch of them today. Hamden was yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them. I heard the Hamden one. A lot of people from the neighborhood show up.
I heard Hamden's
really
a real good one.
Yeah.
My buddy goes to it every year. He
That's
loves
on Dixwell?
yeah, it's at a town park. So it used to be a old golf course. So it's a nice.
Where that gazebo, that big.
that one. Yeah,
okay.
Where they have the fireworks every
Right.
July 4th. So that's a nice
Down the street from the
setup.
police station. Yeah. Manny, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Food, and a little bit more food. That's kind of what's always on my mind. I know Chef V kind of made fun of me today a little bit. He goes, "What?" I went to the Stratfield Farmers Market. He goes, "What? You just, you eat everything?" I said, "Well, kind of, yeah. That's what I do. That's what I do. I go around eating everything. You know what I mean? That's why I made, a business page about it now. Because I like to eat. Might as well share that love with everybody else, right? However way I can, like we do.
Find what you love doing, and
never work a day in your life.
Who would have known that eating could make you money?
Yeah, it's getting good. I mean, I'm a few days old, but I mean, it's already within a few days. It's already
awesome.
Showing some good stuff. Our guest today was featured on the page a couple days ago. I think they were my second post.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll post them like 58 more times. This pizza's so amazing. You don't understand. Until I get all of Bridgeport out there to try this pizza. And they're like, famous who? Like, but you know, that's what's going on.
Long time no see, Raquel. What's going on?
Hello. I'm back, bitches. But today was the opening of the Stratfield Farmers Market, and it was awesome to see Betsy's Latin Flavors doing some empanadas. We had Vito doing, led by a fork, all his breakfast sandwiches. We had Jalissa doing these shish kebabs, which was pretty fantastic. And then I did spot some Dave's Angry
Sauce.
I did forget what it was. Just saying, it was nice to kind of see all the collaborations happening at the market.
And I gotta say thank you guys for always supporting me. Like I wasn't vending today, but you know, you guys made sure that my bottle was at your tables, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, multiple tables. I saw it on a few vendors' tables. Yeah, and there was people coming up. Do you have more of that hot sauce? Like, oh, we ran out. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw even on some of the posts too behind the empanadas. You saw a nice bottle.
Yes, it was pretty sexy.
Product placement.
Well, today was a pretty busy, productive day. So I started at the Stratfield Farmers Market. Would support some of the vendors. From there, ran over to Reservoir. I wanted to stay for the honeybee workshop, but I had to run. I had to do pick up my daughter from her driving lesson, but they had me working.
I didn't call you this time to invite you anywhere.
I was like, they were like, "Oh, Dave, you're a little early. Why don't you come on and help weed some of the beds?" My ass was on my knees.
They must have heard you talk the last episode where you said, "I don't want to go work." So.
Yeah, but they put my ass to work. But yeah,
It's even filmed.
Yeah, oh yeah. So Cal Len's Donovan was there filming, so that you will see me at some point on my knees sweating.
Brings back old memories.
On this day, 1978, the east side of Bridgeport.
So, but then I caught up with Sean from Park City Harvest.
I love those guys, man.
They were great.
I didn't do the loofah plant.
Why not?
Because
you don't want to do Dave and Manny's loofah, so just watch your ass.
Watch your ass. So I bought some hot peppers, jalapenos, habaneros.
I love the little guy already.
So yeah, I'm excited. So tomorrow we're gonna go to our plot and start, planting, gardening, put these down in the ground.
What are you growing?
We're doing some tomatoes, eggplants, jalapenos, habaneros, Carolina Reapers.
Wow.
Scotch bonnets.
Wow.
Now we got some seeds, some spinach, but Sean said wait a few weeks
Before putting that in?
Yeah, so, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun. All right. So, listen, I see some great food. That is a baby here, guys. That is a baby.
That is a baby, and he is actually our special guest today. So, welcome.
We're just handlers.
Yeah.
But we'll see him on the truck soon.
Oh, he was already in the truck.
Yeah.
He's on
I was
it,
on I saw actually the video Dave made. You saw the video. She was hauling him around selling pizzas while holding the baby.
I made sure when I saw her.
Oh yeah.
So
I went there the other day and the baby was already on there. Oh man, he's making pizzas at a week and a half old already. A few weeks ago.
Yeah, a week and a half old. We had him on the truck. That was great.
Yeah.
So there's some food on the table. So let me just go ahead and introduce you guys. We have. Listen, this is an awesome duo. They perfected the pizza dough.
Seriously, yeah.
And they've created an awesome, delicious menu. So give it up for Lenny and Jenny.
Woo!
Digit. Oh.
That's all right.
You almost had it. We didn't practice it for 10 minutes.
I know.
DeGirolomo.
DeGirolomo.
Nice short Italian name.
There you go. Nice and short.
Yeah, it's like Smith in Italian.
Yeah.
I was
DeGirolomo.
at Burns before I married him, and everybody was like, "Aren't you going to hyphenate your name?" I was like, "Don't you think Jennifer DeGirolomo is a long enough name?" I like it. I think it's got a nice ring to it. So.
That's right.
Telemarketers are awesome with it. They just butcher it like crazy.
Oh.
It's like, oh, okay.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm
I
excited.
guess you don't do that.
Thanks
you for
so
coming.
much for having us.
Yeah.
So go, Lenny. Go ahead and dive right in because Manny's over there getting impatient.
Okay.
I didn't even do anything this time. Like, I'm literally just chilling. And you keep picking on me. Watch.
The first calzone. We brought calzones.
So what's a calzone?
So a calzone is, to me, it is a pizza that is just wrapped up into like a stuffed bread. You know, except instead of like a stuffed bread, a lot of people roll them. They call it stromboli, and they'll roll it, and so it's like a spiral. Calzone is basically you take a pizza, you fold it in half, you crimp it up, and you know.
Have you ever noticed when you say calzone to a Spanish person, do they ever laugh? What is calzone?
Calzone. I like when you say
got me
it.
there.
Me too.
Oh man,
You got me there. Go ahead. This is supposed to be East Side 1978 all over again.
I was like, it wrong. Does it rhyme with cabrón? I mean,
I don't know. You got us there. I don't
no,
know.
just you guys Google it.
Okay. Oh, you want me to go?
what is it?
You bring it up. You got to tell us.
No, it's offensive.
really?
Yeah.
Listen, what you guys hear
should've
there,
tried
that
it
thumping, that is
I'm
that
sorry.
deliciousness of calzone cutting. Do you hear that? Not only do we have the crunch factor of the, you know what I'm really excited about? It's the fact that I love the dough, right? The amazing dough.
Amazing.
And with the calzone, you get double the dough.
Yeah.
You get double the dough. So
That's. I mean, I love this pizza. I love this dough. This dough is truly a labor of love. I mean, I love it.
I love your dough too.
Thank you. And so that's part of, you know.
It's light. It's airy. It gets those holes where it needs to.
Those
like
bubbles.
It's so
Those bubbles.
It's one of those
Everything.
pizzas where, like, I'm one of those weird people that eat the crust first
me
because
too, and then you work your way.
I work
in.
my way to the thing because I'm like, the best part is in the middle with all the goodness.
Yes.
But on this dough, like, I don't mind waiting till the end.
Yes.
I'm butchering this, man. I'm sorry.
Like a ping pong machine.
Here, somebody take this box and just.
Just
Which is this one now?
So that's the caramelized onion. So there's like a ricotta cream
Yes, it is.
that we make. Ricotta Parmesan cream with caramelized
Want a whole
onions
pedazo?
and fresh mozzarella.
Caramelized onion. You had me at caramelized onion.
With our dough.
Oh my god. We didn't count because this thing's too good.
Yeah, you guys got some over there, right? You got some? Okay, good. I want everybody to eat a lot.
Wow. Oh my god.
Now, was this your secret? You created like a secret little pie?
Sometimes the calzones will pop up on our secret menu. So if people follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we're starting to release some kind of secret menu items. So this week was a pizza, but we're thinking about doing some calzones. Occasionally you'll see maybe a sandwich pop up on there, and we make the sandwich bread with the pizza dough. Slice that in half so you have a nice sandwich on that fresh
So
bread.
you hear
which
that,
is
right?
good.
So you get those secrets menus. Make sure you follow them at Proof Pizza.
At Proof Pizza Truck on
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram. Yep. I'm driving him.
So Manny's over there.
Thank you, Manny.
We're listening. Manny's getting just some beer ready.
So how I try to do everything, I love the dough so much, and so I try to feature that, and it's not just like some pizza guys are out there and they don't think about the bread and the crust as much as what they put on it. Like everybody, let's make some kind of crazy pizza, and people will go for it, and I think the bread is the most important part because you're complementing it with what you put on it. So I'm really glad you guys like the dough. Thank you.
He's awesome. So, because I remember you guys went by the pizza company.
Yeah.
When I saw Proof Pizza pop up, I knew right away it was you. I don't know. I just knew right away, and I knew why it was Proof Pizza. I didn't have to ask any questions.
Awesome.
Because we knew.
Thank you.
The proofing process, the fermentation process. You know, it's just a good dough, good pie.
Thank you.
Well, one of my favorite things that I really learned from Lenny is that, and people hear it, but it's sometimes you hear and it's like, oh, okay. Dough's a living thing. So
yep.
if you're putting love into it and not just going in and throwing the hours in just to make it and throw it around and just get it in, get it out. I think that's a big part of what makes our dough so good is that it really is a labor of love. From day one we've been doing it as a family. Our 3-year-old son Maddie was on my back. He's on my back every time we make dough. Now he's he kind of can run around with Lenny in the kitchen, and I have the little one on me, but I mean, as hokey as it kind of sounds, I think that's a big part of what
Yeah.
makes it good. It's something that you can't really. It's like
And
the extra
so-
ingredient.
Now, how old is Maddie?
Maddie's 3.
3. I'll tell you guys a funny story. Maddie actually sold me the pizza the other day. He
Gets
was
the
running
best
the window.
shell.
He was
He's
running
awesome.
the window. He sold me the pizza.
Did he keep a tight ship?
Oh, he made
it, yeah.
made sure that Dad was on that oven like no tomorrow, and then Mom was making sure that everything was right.
He counted the cash you gave
Oh
him.
yeah,
Okay,
oh yeah. He
good.
made sure it was
Oh,
all
he
right.
does. He takes the cash.
He
from
takes
people,
people's
yeah.
cards, and they're like, "Yeah, here, take
Yeah.
my card." And I'm like, "Oh."
The first time we had him on the truck, people were coming up and he's going, "What do you want?" And so we had to kind of teach him, that's not how you ask somebody. But I mean, to have him
It becomes
on there
a-
is 3
becomes
years
a
old.
pizza Nazi.
He's bringing
Yeah,
that
right?
Italian in him.
He's
You know?
got to.
What do you want?
Now he's starting to say manja manja because when he's
Yeah,
not eating, I'm like,
manja.
"Come on, man, manja manja." So he'd be like, "Hey, Dad, manja manja."
What do you got here in this cup, man?
So I started it off real light. We're gonna start it with a lager type beer, and this one's actually kind of real special to me because it's my absolute favorite beer to drink when I'm back in Puerto Rico. Right, I got another one that's from Puerto Rico, and for those that are listening, it is close in flavor to maybe like a Coors Light or a Bud Light. It's very light, something where you could chill, have quite a few in a long time throughout the day. And it's called Medalla Light, which is metal light in Spanish. It made me really excited because we were talking that last episode that you can only get this beer and the Ocean Lab Brew in Puerto Rico. You can only get them there. So the only way to get these over here were to sneak them into your luggage. You're only allowed 5 liters, but you can sneak quite a few more in there if agriculture doesn't pay attention. But I'm glad to announce that at least at one liquor store in Bridgeport and in Stratford, BevMax actually carries these now. So now they're being distributed into Connecticut. So those individuals who grew up drinking Medalla from Puerto Rico, you're able to go over to BevMax in Bridgeport on Wood Avenue, and then BevMax in Stratford, where Stop and Shop and Walmart, that little plaza there. I forget what. I think that's East Main Street, if I'm not mistaken. You can go over there and grab those too. So this is a light one. We have a couple more. We'll talk about those a little later on when we pour them.
That is so cool.
It's a really great beer.
Ew.
Very, very nice. Very light, crisp. And it's different having it here though. And everybody says, "Oh, it's not the same if you like New York style pizza."
Right.
It's not the same if you don't have it in New York, right? You can take all the ingredients, bring it here. It's not the same. Something in the water, right? With Medalla, it's one of those things like, for some reason, there's like a weird thing in Puerto Rico where the refrigerators are at like the absolute coldest temperature possible.
Yes.
We're like right before freezing. I have no clue how every bar you go to, every
They
restaurant.
I've never had a beer handed to me and it's just covered in frost. That's not frozen.
It's not frozen.
It's not frozen. Every beer handed to me in Puerto Rico is just perfect.
Yeah, it's the coldest beer you'll ever have. I even told her, we went to one place, it was so cold, I told her, this is almost non-enjoyable because of how cold it was. It was so cold. It was almost like you felt as if you were just like drinking ice. That's how cold it was. It was crazy cold.
That's how a beer should be.
I mean, it should, right? And it was amazing. So, hope you guys enjoy that. There's a little bit more there. Like I said earlier, I'm not like Hector. I don't have it good to be bringing about 15, 12 packs. So I brought one for everyone to sample. All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We're still waiting on that guide for Puerto Rico.
Oh, I was supposed to do that for you yesterday, right? Yeah, I messed up.
So, Manny, what do you got here? I'm sorry, Lenny.
Manny, I already talked. Lenny.
So this one is a pepperoni, and so it's ricotta parmesan sauce, fresh mozzarella, snuck in some sauce in there because everybody likes to dip. We just threw it in there so we're not running around with all kinds of stuff. There's some sauce, a little fresh basil, I believe, a little parmesan. We just wrapped it up in the dough. So your standard pepperoni, it's a little spicy, kind of what we got going.
Take this modus.
Oh, classic, man. Everybody loves pepperoni.
Oh, yeah. I'll take the heartburn after. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Get it.
Real?
It's still, you can make all different kinds of fancy pizzas and everything, and people just go
I think
right for the pepperoni.
yeah, no matter what we make, pepperoni is
It's all reliable.
Yeah.
Right.
You want one?
Sure.
We got 2 more afterwards, just so.
Yeah, man.
So man, why do I keep saying man?
Stop talking to me. Talk to Lenny.
Lenny.
One of us has to change our name for this episode.
So Lenny.
Lenny.
So you know,
Call me Leroy.
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 Who's the master?
Show enough.
Sorry, it's just I love that movie.
So do I. That's a great movie. I was gonna make a pizza. I was sitting there trying to rack my head, like I want to do one. Like, I don't know if I should call it the Glow or Show Enough and everything. And I'm like, you're getting a little too crazy. Jen's like, chill out, man. Just chill out. I'm like, okay.
So now you guys been doing this for 10 years for family, right? You've been making pizza for family. How did it start? Like, where did you just learn it? Did you stumble upon this recipe? How did that happen?
Well, I started. My older brother Dave, was the one who taught me how to make pizza in his house, in the kitchen. Like, you know, my brother Dave's about 10 years older than me. And when I was young, I was just like, you know, a little teenage kid. I'd come over and like we watch cooking shows. He was into cooking shows. He's a big influence on me. And he was like, you ever make pizza? And he used to make it with his buddies, like his roommates. All his buddies would come over on Friday night and they all drink beers and they'd make pizzas at the house. So he's like, you ever make pizza? I'm like, no, I never made pizza. Let's make pizza. So he made a pepperoni onion pizza. It's still to this day one of my favorite types of pizza. He would just put pepperoni, you know, he did with the sauce and everything like that. And he put it on. He had first time I ever saw a pizza stone in an oven. I was like, oh, what's that? And we made pizza. And I was a little twerp. And not a little. I mean, I was like 16, 17. Anyway. So after that, I just got into it. Like, I was like, oh, man, I love pizza. And it was like, wild. Like, I know how to make pizza, you know? So I always made it. And then me and this one, we found each other like about 12 years ago. And it was like, hey, you want to make pizza? Let's make pizza. I always made pizza.
Is that how you asked her out?
No, but that was like the first time like she came over to the house like for the first time. It was
there
like,
you go.
I'm gonna do some pizza. You ever make pizza before? Here, let me show you how to make some pizza. And so
That's what got me.
Yeah.
Got me hooked.
So, you know, we always made it, and it was like, okay, you know, especially in the spring, it was like, okay, all the vegetables are here. What are we gonna make? And through all the, you know, because the house gets really hot with the oven on, so you know, you open up all the windows in the springtime. And just we made pizza all the time, and I got into making dough. So it was like, you know, you go to Trader Joe's, and you know, I like it. I mean, it's dough, but it didn't have that dimension. Like when you go into a restaurant and you get a piece of Italian bread or something, you're gnawing on it, and as you're gnawing on it, you're like, oh man, this really tastes good. Like, you know, when you have toast is good, but when it has a little bit of butter on it, it's like, oh man, you can taste everything as you chew it. That's how I wanted this dough to be. So I just started getting into fermenting it, and you know, and then I started watching all these, like, you go on YouTube and it can go down the hippie road real quick, and people are like, talk to your sourdough, say a prayer over your sourdough.
Is that one of those ASMR
and all,
things?
yeah, they're like, you know, Mother Earth to the sourdough, and I'm going, you know, I think there's something to that. And I was watching, and I saw these scientists do things with like water, and like they do these rice tests. So they took like this water and they braided it and talked bad to it and all that, and they put rice in it, so the rice would absorb the water. And they had like 3 or 4 jars, and one was like a jar they didn't talk to, and then another one was one that they just swore at and just talked down to, and another one they loved it, and then another one they said a prayer and asked for a blessing over it. And they did it for like a few weeks, and the water reacted, and the rice actually reacted to it. So like the one that was getting braided, it got moldy and really bad and awful. And the one that they were like, I love you, dough. Hey, dough, how you doing? It came out wonderful. It was perfectly, after all these, one's rotted, one's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it was like you just took it. I mean, it was like you just made it.
Yeah.
There wasn't,
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, oh.
It's all right.
I'm all
you get
Italian.
excited talking about
I
the dough,
do,
right?
I
It
do.
reminds me of remember Ghostbusters? the pig that they had to swear at.
Yeah. So that's what, you know. So I'm like, Jen, there's something to this. We gotta do this. We gotta do something. So, you know, I was just so loved trying to come up with new stuff and everything. So we started getting all hippie'd out to it. So I love you, Doe. How you doing, Doe? And like we'll have Maddie come over and he goes, hi, Doe. You're gonna be yummy pizzas, and he'll talk to it.
Almost every batch he does that too.
Yeah, and we
awesome.
always, it was a fun thing that we always do. And when we make dough, it's like it's part of us, you know, developing these flavors and just trying to make the best flavored pizza ever. Like, I want the last bite to be as good as the first, you know. And I think it has to do with the bread, because you're eating it on bread. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's a labor. It's truly a labor of love. And we've been doing it, and it changes sometimes. And I'm always trying to perfect it. And especially in the winter when you're in the house and trying to make sourdough and different kinds of things. And, this is what I'm happy with. This is the one that I know if somebody eats it, they're going to really enjoy it. If you like bread, you're going to love my pizza. Our pizza. Jen, this goes...
I help a little
yeah,
bit,
oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
10 years goes by. 10 years go by.
And it was funny, because remember when
yeah.
we had class, and Raquel's like, shh, stop saying how you make the dough. Like, trade secret here, man.
We had like a whole class on that, like how not to share your
Yeah.
secrets. And he's like, no, I just want to share it with everybody.
I love this stuff, let me tell you. And so I locked it up. So that's, we really put a lot into it, because I just want to hit a home run with every single pizza. Right. That's what it's all about, right? Otherwise, people are only going to eat it once, and you'll never see them again, So...
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about before, too. I mean, you do what you love, and you never work. I mean, when we started doing this, we would be making dough until, 11, 12 o'clock? Because, I mean, when you first start, you don't know... I mean, you don't have the systems down, and, now we make it quick. But, when we first started doing it, it was like, okay, well, what are the measurements? And you're doing it. And, I mean, we were taking, 3-4 hours sometimes, where we would come home at, 11, 12 o'clock with our son, and it was like, all right, time for dinner, and then let's go to bed. But it was just the whole process of it. It was like it never felt like work. And even now, it's like, it's not something where you're waking up at, I was in banking before, and in a corporate job where you're waking up at 6:45, and it's the same thing every single day. And I mean, it's even if you're going to the same places every day, it's never going to be the same experience every single day, because, something might happen with the oven where it's not, the pizza maybe isn't cooking as quick, and you got to kind of problem solve that way, or, it's never going to taste exactly the same. There's always something a little different. The flame might be a little higher, it might be a little smokier, today or tomorrow. So it's just, it's fun, kind of dealing with all that, and it's not like working. I mean, to get up and have our son be and tell him oh, we're going to work today, and no, it's not, it is work, but it's not, he loves it, and he's so excited. He's like, oh, are we going on the pizza truck, and it's nice. I mean, he hops on there, he loves being on there. And Lenny really built the whole thing out. It just is to see where it's come from last year. When we first started as a little 10 by 10 tent, and even 10 years ago, just making pizza at the house. Once the weather starts getting warm and we start opening the windows up, it's like it reminds you of when you first started making it. Because like he said, we used to always do it in the spring and the summer, and it's pizza season. It was just so it's nice to have that year round now.
So you were in banking.
I was.
And you, was this always...
Construction, masonry, and stuff like that.
So what made the leap?
Life. What happened was, I got hurt on a job, and that was it. I got really badly hurt. I injured my ankle. I couldn't walk for 6 weeks. I was really banged up. And I couldn't.
Replace you real quick on those jobs.
Yeah, they were like, and they got someone else, and I was out of a job for a while. And so Jen, she ended up leaving banking because, I mean, it's a job, but there's no fulfillment in it. People are, it's a stiff environment, I would say, quite a bit. And, got to a point where it was like, let's stop wasting time and let's just do it, We love making this, and hopefully everybody else who tries it is going to like it as much as we do. So that first year, it was like, I'm really going to do something with this dough. We're just going to think up a really good pizza, and we're going to let our friends and our family try it. And if they're into it, then maybe we got something here, And so that's what we did. We had a bunch of people over. We got this, remember our little oven? Got a little oven. And Jen, I would start putting them together, and Jen would start turning them out in the oven. She's awesome at Oh
Yes,
man,
she is.
see
Children with her and everything.
this. Yeah, my girl, she can bake a pie, man.
I have a hard time doing a sunny side up egg on a regular stove, and she can get one done in a 700-degree oven
Yeah.
on a pie.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so proud of
perfect
it.
every time.
Yeah.
He makes me so nervous every single time we have an egg pizza because he's like, she is the best at making these. And I'm like, why did you just let me make it first and then say that? Like, I always feel like we had one person, Sid, remember from the Black Rock Farmers
Black
Market
Rock
last
Farmer,
year,
yeah.
and our first day there, he comes up and he's like, he sees the menu, and we had the egg pizza with the guanciale and the smoked cheese sauce and everything. And he's like, egg on a pizza, huh? He's like, everybody says they can do that, but nobody ever can really make an egg on a pizza. And this one starts going, oh no, she can. And this is like our first time out.
I'm all cocky. I'm like, oh yeah, right? Really?
We used to make like egg pizzas at home and everything like that, but he's going, oh no, she makes it perfect every single time. And I'm like, really, you're doing this to me?
Yeah, threw right up blast.
But I
Confident.
did. It came out really good, and he was back every single week. Then he started asking for 2 eggs on pizzas, and he's going, "Oh yeah, she could do it, no problem."
She got it. This girl got it.
Throwing it in the oven. I see these 2 eggs jiggling around now, and it's like, oh man, it would make me nervous.
But I
yeah,
tell
but
you, forged in the
is
fire. This
fun.
girl,
It
like,
is
she
fun.
turned them out every. It was the guy came the first time, and he had that little attitude, like, yeah, come on.
Let's see you
Like,
make an egg on a
let's see.
pizza.
Everybody overcooks it, or they undercook it, they break the yolk, whatever. Nice guy. He took that pizza. I go, go ahead, man. Buy a pizza. We'll prove it to you. This girl will do it. Boom, boom, boom. Jen turns out that pie. He goes, all right. Goes and he walks over by the tree stumps over, and you see him. He opens up the box. Dude just starts. He just kind of looked up like, oh, look at this yolk perfectly. The white, everything. Cooked perfect. And he just starts housing the pizza. And he comes back and he was like, that was a great pizza. You guys nailed it. People say they can nail it and they don't. You guys do it. He goes, every week that guy came back and he go, can you do 2? I'm like, psh, she got it. No problem. I'll put a half a dozen eggs on it. This girl will do it.
Please don't come and ask for a pizza that has
Yeah.
those eggs. And
Please,
will not
I'll
make
make
come
it.
it.
over there. I'd come over there one day just to mess with you and do that.
That might be the secret
So-
menu, though.
That day I went over there, I took one home. My wife was blown away. It was so good. She loved that pie.
so
always
I'm
sunny.
glad she really liked it. Yeah.
That is definitely I'm most proud because of her bake on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, and we spoke about this right a few episodes ago, and I was saying like how he takes no credit for it, like
Yeah.
at all.
Yep.
Nope.
Like, he takes none at all, and I think that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? That they work so beautifully together because he every single time, no matter this has been like 38 conversations about this pizza already, and every time the first thing is my wife.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
I turn them, she burns.
great.
Well, she doesn't even. She bakes them just perfect.
It's so perfect. No, you like the little burnt crust on the outside. It's nice.
You like the little
You know, the best was I remember, last year we started doing the farmers markets, and getting out there, started the business, and I remember I was like, Jen, every once in a while we get a bubble on there, no bubbles, you gotta be careful, and I'd be on it a little bit, and I come into class, and I said something about the bubbles,
Oh, yeah.
and you guys are like,
Best thing of it.
yeah, that's the best thing apart about it, and I'm going, oh, you guys like those bubbles? And you guys are like, yeah, the bubbles are the best part, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh. So I go back home. I'm like, you're a genius, Jen. You got this.
Sometimes you
Apparently
gotta
everybody
let him
likes
kind of get
bubbles.
it all out and just okay, hon, I got it, no problem.
I stick my foot in my mouth every time, man.
That's why you got it, though.
Yep.
So, quick question. You talk really passionately about the farmers markets, right? And now that we have some new vendors now coming out from the community, and there's a couple of new faces, which are really exciting to see. What advice, as someone who now has experienced a season or two, who has the experience of multiple markets, right? Yeah. Would you give to an entrepreneur who's now starting out at the market for their first season?
Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Believe in your product, and just keep putting it out there, and just keep believing in yourself, because you're gonna have those days. No matter what you do, nobody's gonna buy it. There are those days where people just walk by and they don't see you. It's still the great product that you make. It's just how the day goes, and you just gotta go. Okay, I'm just gonna go at it tomorrow. I'm gonna hit it out of the park tomorrow. You gotta be like the Yankees, just make those home runs happen.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, you can't get discouraged. And sometimes you'll have a weekend like that. You'll go to 2 different places and it's like, but you know what? It's that one Sid who comes over and goes, dude, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like that's, and it just comes back and you go, that's why I do it. Yep. And you're like, yeah, and you get fired up again. Live for those fired up moments and let those carry you through those hard moments.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
And it's always a process. You're always building momentum. And if you stop, you're gonna lose momentum. So you just gotta keep going and keep going and keep trying to perfect it. Think of creative, whatever. Just whatever you're passionate about. That's why you're doing it. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can make it like you. It's yours. And you just want people to enjoy it because you enjoy it. So just keep going. Just keep going. Just persist. And be cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Be cool with everybody.
Because you are your brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even on those days, I mean, there were days where, because we would move around the market, and it was amazing to see. I mean, even like 2 spots over, maybe we wouldn't have anybody, and then we'd be somewhere else the next week, and it would be slammed.
Yeah.
But those days where you don't have anybody, I mean, it really is. You got to keep positive, and you got to keep smiling. Just, I mean, even if it's something as small as saying hi to everybody who's walking by, and just enjoying every minute of it. I mean, that's like, I'm thinking about some of like the Black Rock days, and just, I mean, you're outside in just beautiful weather. I mean, sometimes it's not, but you're still outside doing what you love and selling this product that you love. And you know what? Maybe those people won't get it that day, but they're gonna remember.
That's right.
Walking by you and going, oh, they look really nice, and you know what? Maybe I got something from next door, but I'm gonna get their stuff next time. Next time I'll get it. They're gonna remember that. But if you're there and you're, you got a bad look on your face and you're just upset about everything, I mean, people pick up on that and they see that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
you can't fake it.
Yeah.
You won't get far
Listen,
faking.
Yeah.
I have to kind of like mention that I talk highly of you guys. Like, and it's not. I don't just talk about the pies. Like, I really like
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thanks,
are
buddy.
an awesome duo. Like, and the
Thank
thing
you.
is, like, we want to get into some of the challenges that you face, but I have to say that like I post in my promo post that I put.
Thank you, by the way. It was beautiful.
Nothing can. You can face all the challenges you want, but when you guys love, like, you guys support each other, you guys, when one's down, you pick them. Like, I see that in you guys, and there's no excuses for, you guys just move, keep on moving forward, and I think that makes a difference. Like,
You have to, yeah.
I will buy you pies anytime I'm, like.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
There's amazing pies that, like, I work in New Haven, so I love modern pizza, but I don't know the owner, and it's just mass produced, right? It's just pies. I think one time I forget how many pies they do a day, but you guys, man, I could see you guys. You're there with the baby,
Yeah.
it's different. I don't know. It just makes
Feels
the
like
pie-
home.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
That's yeah. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, it'd be kind of like ignorant to be like, I want to be the best pizza, because there's so much good pizza out there, and there's so, like, pizza's very personable.
Do you know Barstool Pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One bite,
one bite.
everybody knows the rules.
One
Right?
bite.
One bite, everybody knows the rules, and he just chomps on that thing.
Yeah, he liked our posts with you guys, so hopefully.
Oh, really?
So hopefully.
Wow.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch
So
him.
listen, Barstool Pizza. Come on, you guys. Come to Bridgeport. He
come
comes to
out.
Bridgeport. He comes to New Haven,
there,
to West
Davey.
Haven.
Dude, we watched him. He's been peppered all over the area, because Connecticut is known for its
Hey,
pizza.
absolutely.
I mean,
So,
this
yeah.
is the hot zone for pizza.
So definitely come to Bridgeport. Look out for Proof Pizza.
Thank you.
Well, and
Thank
I
you.
was really excited too, because I don't know. There's also a show on Amazon called Really Dough, and
Yeah.
it's Scott's Pizza Tours, and he goes through
And he does it with Lucali.
Mark Iacono, and it's if you haven't seen that show on Amazon, they're like 10-minute episodes, but it's
Is it
awesome.
Amazon? They're on YouTube.
It's
too.
on,
They're on
it's
YouTube
on
too,
YouTube
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
But we found that, I think, like, first season, and they're coming out with a third season now. They're doing a road trip, and I got excited because they're going to Bridgeport. They're going all different places.
I'm trying to
I
figure
think
out
they're
where in
probably gonna
Bridgeport
go
they're
to,
at.
where did you say? Brewport.
Brewport or
Yeah, because
something
they have
like
that
that.
kimchi pizza, which is pretty good.
That is
Is it?
some fire pizza.
That is a good
yeah.
pizza.
Get the pulled
The
pork
pulled
pizza
pork.
with the kimchi.
I think, yeah.
You didn't like it? I mean, everybody's different.
All right, hold on a second. Let's eat this while
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
So,
Talk
yeah.
about-
All right, so
let's
this
get back to deliciously amazing pizza right
Thank
here.
you. The spinach artichoke. A little bit of ricotta cream, I think, a little bit in it.
Just a little bit mozzarella.
And mozzarella. So this is a spinach and artichoke version.
There you go. A veggie.
Made some
So we did
veggie ones.
two.
There you go. We had veggie pies this week.
And love
Where's
for
Marsha?
Marsha.
Where's Marsha? And to go along with that delicious pizza there, we are going to talk about the next beer too. We're going back, I know a few weeks back, we had some Two Roads beers on here. And this is actually another one. The next two are going to be from Two Roads as well. And I spoke a little bit about these. This is actually their sour series beers. These are actually, if you ever pass by Two Roads, they have tanker trucks right outside of their building, right on the left where their mash tuns and all that are. And those trucks are actually where these beers ferment.
Oh, wow,
Within
that's
those
cool.
tanker truck. So they're actually called the Tanker Truck Series. And then on the labels, if you look at them, I'll pass it around. When you look at them, they actually have the tanker trunk.
That's
tanker
awesome.
truck right outside, right in front of it. I was just reading this, and actually, I guess I've been pronouncing these wrong my whole life. I always thought they were Gozes. G-O-S-E is Goze. I'm reading this, and it says Goza.
Oh.
Right? Is that what that says? G-O-Z-U-H?
That's the one who's blind as a bat. Let me see.
Goza. So I guess it's Goza. This one is the plum Goza. So it's actually made with
Yeah.
plum. So it's a fruity beer, a sour beer. And it's one of those like super hot summer day beers where it's got that tang to it without being
Goza.
too Goza,
Right?
right?
Go, every time you say that, I think Ghostbusters.
I think about
So there you go. The next one's going to be a
That's what I
sour
was
series
thinking,
beer
yeah.
as well. So give that a try, guys, if you like it. There's some more medallia if anybody wants to. I'm going to dig into this veggie pie.
it's delicious. It's creamy.
Spinach artichoke dip. I used to make one of my favorite things to make for like family thing, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know if you remember. Remember, I would make the spinach artichoke triangles.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanted to make something like a little different and not. I mean, we started kind of getting into like some different food things, and I was like, I want to make something that like people are gonna remember at like just family things. And I think I made it for Rosh Hashanah one year, and it was like phyllo
attacked
dough,
it.
right? I did them like I folded them like little flags. And I did it with a spinach artichoke dip, and it came out really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
And my sister gave me a really good recipe for a spinach artichoke dip. So my sister Allie gave me one, and so we've been kind of working with that one, and
Yeah, we're not going to say any more, Tracy.
that's it. Yep. Yep.
But yeah.
Put a couple different touches on it because she knows what the recipe.
yeah.
But yeah,
There's
I mean,
go on.
no, it's just trying to come up with different things. I mean, you don't want to just throw something on a pizza just to make a crazy pizza, right? I mean, it's like, we have a couple of them that we've thought of, and it's like we would just be putting that on just to say that we're putting it on, like we were talking about kimchi. Sometimes people just throw it on just to
It becomes like
have
a
that
gimmick.
shock factor.
Yeah.
So I mean, it we don't want to ever make a pizza like that where it's like gimmicky. So if you see a crazy pizza, I mean, there's thought that went into it. It's not just like, oh, let's throw.
I mean, not dogging all of them, because I mean, I've never said no to a slice of pizza in my whole
Yeah.
life. I mean, ever. I mean, I eat Helios when I was a kid.
Real
Used to
quick,
play and doctor them up,
let's argue. Pineapple pizza. Is that-
Only when I make it.
Okay. How about you guys?
Listen, I grew up. I don't know. I feel like if you're Latino and you don't think pineapple goes on pizza, then there's something wrong, because I grew up having Hawaiian pizzas my whole life, and they have the ham and the pineapple and all that, and I grew up eating it, so I don't care. It's got that nice sweetness to counteract the saltiness from the ham. I mean, I think it comes down more to like preference of the fruit itself. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought of my mom's baked ham of the holidays.
and it would have slabs of pineapple.
I love
on
that.
top,
That's
right?
the best.
Baked
Yeah.
ham, right? So
like
it's basically
glaze.
the baked ham thrown on
All
top
you need
of
is
dough.
is the cherries.
That's it, and the cherries.
So really, it's a
No.
Puerto Rican ham, not
Yeah, I
Hawaiian
know.
ham.
Yeah, it's more like Puerto Rican pizza. I don't know why where the Hawaiians come in. Hawaiians, they don't even
Because
know.
Hawaiians are more spam than ham.
Yeah,
I dig
yeah.
spam too. I like that.
Yo, I just want to say
This was good.
that was amazing.
Thank you,
It's
man.
like-
There's one slice left.
They're like my veggie.
I'll fight
stuff.
over it if you want.
I'll fight somebody. Who wants? Riel's got all the leftover pizza over there that everybody got. All the pizza's getting sent to Riel, and he's over there eating it.
I love his pizza. You know when you eat pizza and you like the dough so much,
Yes.
Thanks, man.
That's what you eat, and then you got double.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Double
exactly.
the bottom of your
I was
mouth
thinking
and
that because you
double
got,
the
you know,
top of
I
your
know you
mouth,
guys
so
like it.
That makes you like, got the daily double today.
Yeah,
Thanks,
but
man.
Double the dough, right?
This is different. I never had anything like this, Benny. The sour.
Oh, the
Yeah, it makes you
sour?
pucker. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, we go to the Oktoberfest, right? Not Oktoberfest, Oktoberfest number 2, and at Two Roads, and last year, because it's a German festival, last year all they had was their German style beers on the menu. This year they introduced the passion fruit gose, which we're gonna try in a little while. And again, being Puerto Rican, balcha, like
Hello.
you know, or I think other countries with maracuja or whatever the rest of them call it.
The rest of them.
I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. They kick us out of the Latin community half the time.
Too loud.
Yeah, too loud. You speak Spanish and English.
Take your pacha with you.
Take it with you. But they introduced that one, and you'd be surprised how hot the last couple of years have been in October. During those festivals, is a weekend long, and I mean it's been so hot, it's crazy. Everybody like tries to sneak under the tents and not be in the sun but then they put that one on there, and like it's amazing because it's got that tartness to it, that nice sweetness. That again, that like you said, it makes you pucker. You just
yeah,
it's nice. It's like having a nice cold lemonade in the summertime. Might make you a little thirstier after, but that's when you go for another one. Yeah, you drink it again. But yeah, those are great. It's different. I think, I don't know about these. Don't quote me on it. I know the tanker is an old milk truck. It's an old milk tanker. And I know I've had beers, actually, where you guys vend every now and then, Aspetuck. Aspetuck makes a sour that has dairy in it. And you would think something sour with dairy, like, doesn't sound appealing, like sour dairy. And
I've had
Buttermilk.
I've had a milk stout before.
yeah, so
Like stuff like that. Yeah.
right. So we had it there, and it's a little funky. It has like that milky flavor. And this plum one we just had, if you really taste it, you can kind of taste as if there's a little bit of I don't want to say they put milk in it, but there's like that.
Like a body
maybe
to
the
it.
tanker itself still has that dairy flavor in it. That actually, it's like when they age.
Like oak barrels and all that.
Barrels.
Yeah, like
you know,
old
it gets
wine
the
barrels.
flavor from the barrels. So maybe it is.
You said you had stout milk.
Yeah, I've had that.
It reminds me. My dad, remember Marta?
Talk.
Oh man, I used to love that
My
stuff.
dad used to put milk.
Yeah, I think it's milk. They do that all the time.
Yeah,
My mom used to do that. I forgot what it's called though. Like the milk in the Malta.
in the Marta.
I don't know.
What's it called?
I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, we all know what it is.
Yeah.
But, oh my god. Oh, so talking about that, talking about you vended at Aspetuck, is there something in your future of vending at locations like that again?
Yeah, we're going to be branching out, going to be doing more bars. I mean, I try to make it fun, and being into the dough, I try to change it up. So, I mean, like going back to the farmers markets too, I mean, you hear our story and how we're doing it, but every vendor has their own story. We're all doing the same thing with our own little product. And so it's like an awesome little collaboration. It's almost like a little brotherhood you got going, We're all out there on Saturday, we're all peddling our stuff, and trying to get people to like it as much as we do. And when it comes to like bars and breweries and stuff like that, I know that guy who's brewing that beer. He loves that beer, man. He came up with that flavor and those notes that that he put that in there. He planned that, like we do with the dough and with making pizzas. So what I do is I try to, we try to have fun with it. So when we were at Aspetuck Brew Lab.
Oh, talk about that, please do.
Yeah.
That was memorable.
Yeah, man, yeah, you were the best. You were over there hanging out, eating pizza. So I would take their beer and I'm like, look, what beer do you want to showcase? Give me some of the beer, and I'm gonna throw that flavor in the pizza. I'm gonna put it in the dough because it's made similar to making dough. So there's a fermentation process and everything. So I'm like, let's get those flavors, but now let's get a little foodie in there and let's see what works with that beer and complement it. So let's make a specialty pizza just for this place. It's work. I mean, you got to sit there and, be the little alchemist and see what goes and what doesn't go. And there's some batch that gets
trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. I mean, there's some science to what you're doing. But, like we went there and we made a
That pizza was really good.
Yeah, that was a pretty killer pie.
Oh my
we
God.
used that beer in.
I don't
I
even
think we
remember which
tried
one
to
it
use it
was.
in most of the ingredients, but in different ways. So we made
yeah.
the dough with the beer,
Yeah.
and then we
Preach.
made the
We
made
roasted the
cheese. We made
tomatoes.
an IPA cheese sauce.
IPA
Yes.
cheese sauce.
Preach.
We made. I think the chorizo was the only thing that didn't have the beer in it.
Yeah.
We had
Roasted the
we
tomatoes.
We roasted the tomatoes and kind of. I think we finished it. We stewed them almost towards the end with a little bit of beer on it. And I think we
It is
had,
so
I
sexy.
cooked down the
You
beer.
don't
really
understand.
good.
I'm
was
so happy
so
the way I'm
good.
talking right now about that pizza. I went there specifically for it because I believe this was not too long after our classes, and you had mentioned that you were at Aspetuck and that he was going to be making this beer pizza. And again, I love beer. I love pizza.
Yeah, right.
So you put those two together, it's going to be something special.
It was a lot of fun.
It was
my
a
God.
lot of fun. It was
So
a lot of
good.
fun. And it was something like you got your beer and your food pairing, but that food was made just for that beer. And you're going to get the hint of the beer when you're eating it, but it's not like I don't even want to wow, this pizza tastes like beer. I wanted it to be like, oh man, this chorizo complements the flavor of the crust that's going with the sauce that's roasted this way, blah blah blah. So we had fun with it, and
I mean,
people
he
seem to
literally
like
tried every single component. He would try every component with the beer. Then he would pair a couple of them together, and then we would put it. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing that pizza, and it was
some
funny
sliced
because the first
potato
time
on
we were
there.
there, the sliced potato. That's right, we had potato on there too.
Yeah.
And that time that we had that pizza, it was. Do you remember? It was nonstop that time.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
crazy that night. It was a lot of fun.
So that pizza, just to make clear of what it was, somebody got to eat that slice so I can open the next one.
Don't worry about it. I will.
So, all right.
He was waiting for that.
So I don't even remember what we called it. I don't even remember what we called the pizza. So we made the beer. I made the crust with the beer.
Just call it perfection.
Should have.
Thanks, buddy. So beer had the beer and the crust. Then we made the IPA cheese with it, the IPA cheese sauce with it, with roasted tomatoes, chorizo,
Roasted potatoes.
and
I think it had fontina on it,
cheese. So it had kind of like a bit of a spicy vibe to it, a little bit of a Latin vibe to it.
And everything that goes great with beer, because you think of fontina even in the cheese fondue, right?
Yeah.
And
with beer.
the different the tomatoes went well with the chorizo. Everything kind of balanced each other, and it was like a complete thought in a pizza. Little over the top, but it was a lot of fun. That's what it's about.
I think one of my favorite things is watching it. When he gets an idea about something, it's really fun to watch it evolve from it really, because he'll come up with something and I'm like, that doesn't sound good, or that sounds a little weird, but watching him go step by step by step and figuring out different components of everything and seeing how excited he gets, it gets me excited. I was never. He is the cook in our family, and I am so lucky to have him as my husband because our whole relationship, he's always been such a good cook. He's taught me how to cook so many different things. And I remember even his mom saying it she'll learn to cook when you get married, and then it turned into she'll learn to cook when you have kids. I'm getting better, but I've made some pretty horrendous things for him.
But why should you learn?
Well, that's my thing, is that he loves doing it. So
It's
I
a
like
win-win.
learning it, but he does love doing it. But I've made some horrendous things. I think the worst thing I ever made for him was a chicken fried steak.
Ruined it for me.
He was early on in our relationship, he was like, I really want a chicken fried steak, and I was feeling good because he showed me how to make sauce, and I remember I made it, and you're like, it kind of tastes like my mom's, and I was like, that's the ultimate compliment. I was like, I'm gonna make him this chicken fried steak, and this is gonna be he's gonna love it.
wow him.
And I looked up the recipe, I had everything all set, and I'm going to make it. I'm frying the steak, and I'm like, okay, so I look how you make the sauce, and you throw the flour in with some of the fat. Apparently, I didn't see that you drain the fat from it and everything like that, so I'm throwing the flour in. And I have everything, I think, to the recipe, but the sauce isn't looking the way it's supposed to.
It
and
was
I have
brutal.
this. I'm pretty sure I cooked the steak perfectly. I think I cook perfectly. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
It was so bad he doesn't remember
oh,
what was
man,
good.
well, you know what? Because the sauce wasn't getting the right color, so I'm just throwing more flour until finally it was like the light brown gravy color you need. And I'm like, all right, this is it. I pour it on the steak. I bring it to him in the other room. By the time it got to him in the other room,
It's solidified.
I missed the 4 cups of milk that you were supposed to put into.
Oh, dude, it was.
So she just had rendered fat.
It was literally the
and
rendered fat, the seasoning,
flour.
and flour. And God bless him, he took a bite of it and he goes, "This is really not good."
It was like I couldn't play it off. I had
was
because you know what? If I
so
tried to play it
bad.
off, she would have done it again. and she like just came over and she was just like she put it in front of me and she was just like,
I'm so
I
excited.
made this for you. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I'm looking, I'm going, oh man, that consistency looks off. I'm like, so what's that recipe? Like, where'd you get that recipe? And she's like, no, just eat it. She's like, sop it up with the gravy.
Oh my!
And it was just like, it went into my mouth and it just hit me. It's just like, boof.
It looked like you were working in masonry again.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, man. I was like, oh, man, I could have built a wall. No problem with
It
that.
was bad.
Yeah. And yeah, I've never had that again. Don't even want it again. Won't even ask for it. It's a specialty. Just, no.
But I never was really as into cooking as I have gotten to be now. And I mean, he still is
She's come a long way.
CEO
I
of
mean,
the kitchen,
yeah.
but it's so much more fun now
awesome.
and seeing like how these different recipes, just even like the pizza with the beer, like making all those different components. It was so much fun. And I mean, the best part of this, look, when we mess up a pizza, it's lunch, and it's like he was
Yeah.
saying, sometimes he'll mess them up on purpose if it's one that he likes, 'cause
Yeah.
it'll turn into
I wanna
lunch. But
eat
then
it.
it's like at the end of the day, I remember last year at the farmer's market, we would come home with these, we wouldn't use some of the tomatoes, we wouldn't use some of these different things, and it would turn into, all right, what can we make with this? Because you can only have so much pizza, or maybe there wasn't any dough left, and it would turn into like macaroni or just all different kinds of things.
Yeah,
and
we
it was
live off
so
it,
much
you know?
fun to see like the pizzas turn into some other kind of meal, and it was like, the Stinger would make some crazy kind of like ziti dish or whatever.
Yeah,
It
it
was
makes some kind of sauce
It was
with
a
it
lot
and-
of fun, and I mean, it is a lot of fun.
It's like chopped, you
just
you end up with these ingredients at the end of the day. It's like, well, I'm going to make this
What can I-
something
yeah.
else really good
Yeah.
because they worked on a pizza. But, going back to the liquor, or not the liquor, the beer, everybody was enjoying the beer as much as they were the pizza. And that's what I think it was about, showcasing their beer with the pizza. So it was like, it's always about the collaboration.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know when I had asked you what beer it was, and you had recommended, hey, this one. So I actually went inside and got the beer that he had recommended that went with the pizza, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
You're the best. Thank you.
No, you guys are the best. Trust me.
Well, and that's what's so much fun about the farmers markets. That's what I kind of miss, and I can't wait for the downtown farmers market to start, because we would have a set menu, but then we would have a special, and it was literally whatever we would find at the market that day. I mean, we had like an eggplant rollatini pizza that came out awesome, because we would get those eggplants like directly from the farmer right next to us. And I mean, forget it. Once the fresh tomatoes come in, it was like, that's just a staple, because you have to have the fresh tomato pie. You can't go a season without it. And it really, I get so excited. We used to grow 2 kinds of tomatoes. We would grow Cherokee Purple, and we would grow striped
German
Germans.
stripe, yeah.
And so like anytime we go to the market, I would look for those tomatoes, because when we would make the pizzas at home, that's what we would make. And it was, I mean, we don't you got to come out and try it once we have it, once those tomatoes come in, because it's not like any of the pizzas the fresh tomato pizzas that you get anywhere else. I don't think, but it really is. I mean, the best part of it is getting those tomatoes. I mean, literally walking over that day, they're still warm from sitting in the sun, and just going the day, and
Right.
Like we said, figuring out what's in season and what we're going to get that day, and making something out of it. I mean, we made
Making something great out
making
of
something
it.
delicious out of it. Yeah.
Because if somebody doesn't like it, they're never coming back.
Right. All right, Lenny. What do we got here, Lenny?
So this is the Stinger. So what this is, it's a little play on sweet, spicy, a little umami kind of going on. So what it is it's our sauce, and it has spicy
Hot soprasad.
hot soprasad, and it has chili oil in it, which could be a little hotter. I'll admit, could always be a little hotter. But it's just a little sting, I don't want to blow your head off. And then it's finished with a little bit of honey.
So this,
Just to get a little
Rio, this
sweet.
is the one that I brought. Came in with the pie, the stinger.
I like that one.
It was good.
It's my favorite.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, it hits every note, you know?
it's really
The
good.
You get the meat, you get the sweet,
The honey.
hot,
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
and the sauce.
Oh, it's so good.
Thanks. I'm glad you guys like
Is there a
it.
small piece in there?
Small piece. First half a beer, now a small piece. Are you on a diet or something?
Dude, I ate.
I eat before I come here every episode. You know that.
You're bigger than me. I don't know.
I mean, height wise.
Yeah, buddy, you gotta yeah, choose.
While he's doing that, I'm going to talk about the next one real quick.
Oh.
Again, it's a part
Oh,
of the
you gotta get
Tanker
that part.
series of Two Roads Brewery.
boy.
And this one is the Passion Fruit Goza. Or Goza, sorry. Goza. Passion Fruit Goza. It's my favorite out of the Goza series.
Oh, yeah?
This one's my
Passion
favorite
fruit, you
here.
said?
Passion fruit, yep. Passion fruit, maracuja.
You could
matcha.
smell it
Yeah.
when you go to take the sip.
Oh yeah.
I love this pizza. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and it's got the
Sour,
mozzarella
huh?
in it.
That's why it's called the Sour series, because they're
That
sour.
puckers you up, man. I like that.
Every time he's saying that, I'm thinking like a gyoza. And
I know.
before,
Oh, yeah, gyoza.
oh man, we haven't had sushi since I got pregnant with this one, and it's like we've been dying for it. And so now you keep saying it, and I'm like, I think we gotta go tomorrow to go get sushi.
Yeah. I've been waiting a long time for sushi. She's like, I can't have it. I'm like, all right, I won't have it either.
Such a good husband.
Go through it together.
Shh, don't tell nobody.
Chef was like, ain't nobody else touching that pizza. I'm in there. I'm in there.
That pie you made at the Black Red Market, it had goat cheese, I think some peach, arugula.
Oh yeah, the fresh
remember
peach. Yeah,
That was real good.
that was when the peaches were really coming in, and you know, like even with the pineapple, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you know, fruit on a pizza, is that going to be good or is it going to taste like a pie? And so it's like, there's the gauntlet, you know. They threw it down. You're gonna say it's not good. I'm gonna try and make it where you're like, oh, it's good if it's made like this. So when the pizzas were in, we threw in the fresh goat cheese from Connecticut Cheese Company. So like we picked from all the other vendors because you know it's
that
like
goat cheese is great.
And
I
then we
used
got
it.
honey.
Oh,
we
man,
got
their
honey
cheese
from Park
was
City,
awesome.
honey. I think.
yeah, honey from Park
Yeah.
City. So I mean we're getting some stuff from everybody and we're telling everybody like yeah this pizza was made because of them and them. So I mean you like it, go buy some of their stuff. You know, I just put it together. You know, it's their product and it's the best product.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get better than a farmer's market. I mean, it's all for peppered love. You know, man, everybody loves their product and is trying to get out there so you can enjoy it. So, yeah, it had arugula on there, and I
Balsamic
think it had a
vinegar.
balsamic
Glaze.
drizzle, and I think we put prosciutto on
Yes.
it. Prosciutto brittle.
Yeah, we did.
So we did a little prosciutto brittle, so, you know, I'm always...
Is that something that may possibly come back to the menu?
Man, if it's in season, I'm going to make it. I mean,
Because I didn't have it last year. Because that breakfast pie was calling me the whole time.
yeah, man, you
And
always
I-
coming
yeah.
back for that.
And then I had the Aspetuck beer pizza.
It's totally different pizza.
But that one right there is like
No, he walked over.
I wanna eat that.
He walked over. He goes, "Hey, try this." I don't like peach. I don't like balsamic vinegar. And I don't like arugula.
Do you not like any fruit? Because you said I don't like passion fruit. I don't like peach.
I don't like passion fruit because it tastes like peach to me. I don't like peach.
If you don't like it, man, you don't like it.
No, his pie. That pie was good.
Oh,
I had peach on a
Thank
pizza
you.
one time.
That pie was really good.
I had peach on a pizza one time. It was
Okay.
oh my god. It was onions and the peach. Excuse me. And it was pretty good. But that was my only. I mean, I wouldn't say wow, like I go eat it, but you guys are making this seem like it's. I mean, it's you guys, so obviously it's gonna be good. But
And I love goat cheese, so that's.
yeah, man, isn't it the... Oh, yeah.
I gotta go try that. You gotta let me know.
Was that
Yeah.
you that was telling? It was either you or Heidi that was saying like, "Oh, I had a pizza with peaches on it."
Yeah,
and I was like,
Heidi.
"Pizza with peaches," and that's when it just kind of and it's like little comments like that, and even
That
like
make
even like the Hawaiian pizza. Somebody said something to Lenny about like, "Oh, I don't really like Hawaiian pizzas." And one of the first pizzas we did, remember what was it? It was the Hawaii 5-0, and I think
Hawaii
we changed it
5-0.
to the Pineapple Express. It came out, and it was really, it was a smoked cheese sauce. We did like a picante pineapple, like we spiced the pineapple.
Yeah, I
up,
pickled
and then
it.
we did a.
I did like a spicy
barbecue
pickle.
pulled pork, and it was. So I mean, it's not, it's you hear Hawaiian pizza, and then we kind of want to take a completely different turn, because it's not, you're not going to throw just slices of pineapple and ham on a pizza. So that one will
I mean, I wanted,
back,
yeah,
that one was really
you gotta. That's probably going to become, I would say, maybe secret menu, or we may bring it back for a special.
I think that might pop up on the secret menu.
It might
soon, because now I'm
because it's a whole process. The whole thing is like, pineapple. It's obviously a polarizing thing with people, in especially with the Hawaiian pizza, right? So I'm like, all right, what do we gotta do? Fresh pineapple. You can't do canned pineapple, because then it's just way too sweet, So it's like, what are you gonna do with it? If you put honey or anything like that, it's just gonna make it even sweeter. It's just gonna enhance that. So it's like, all right, let me pickle that, and let me throw some spice into it. So I made like this hot picante pickle to it. Just give it a little zhuzh and kind of pull off, the natural sugars, but not really make it sweet. And then it's like, okay, what's it good with? And my best friends are, two of them are Puerto Rican, man, and they
The two
when they're
of us.
Yeah, we must be your best friends.
Puerto Ricans throw down, man. Like, I love Italians, I'm Italian, but
I mean, unless you're not like fully Puerto Rican,
Like this one, passion fruit.
Mr. Passion Fruit hater.
dude.
You got your Puerto Rican card revoked, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude. Whenever they're doing a pork or anything like that, they're throwing all kinds of citrus in there, and I'm like, what's in this? He's like, I did some limes and some of this and that, and they just throw down. So we did the pork, right? We did the barbecue pork, and we made one to play off the citrus and the spiciness, and then we smoothed it out with the smoky cheese,
smoky cheese sauce.
Smoky cheese sauce, and the people who got it, like.
People
were like
shocked. I mean, I like if a pizza's on our menu, we love it. I mean, we've tasted it, we love it.
I had a bunch
it doesn't
of times
necessarily
before I
mean
saw
that
it.
everybody else
a
will love
lot,
it,
man.
but we love it, and so it's everybody's got different tastes, and that's fine. But we did our first event last year was the Newtown Relay for Life, and we had like teenage girls coming up ordering this pizza, and I'm like. I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna like it, and they literally they would come back around the they walk the track. They would literally come back, and like another girl from their group would order another one. And they're like, that pizza was so good, and to hear them say that, and like even this week we're on Fridays we're over at Quarry Road, 112 Quarry Road by the Bowtie Theaters, and I was going on just giving menus to people so they know what we have, and people can text orders in now, and so you can text and then pick it up from the truck. And one of the girls I gave the menu to, she was like, wait, are you on the truck? And I was like, yeah. She goes, that pizza. She goes, I got a pizza last week and it was so good. And I was like, oh, I was just talking to her a little bit, and to hear somebody say that, and it was funny because it was like we had one pizza. This girl was like, she was allergic to sauce and she couldn't eat a bunch of kinds of cheeses, so it was literally sauce. It was dough, our proof oil, and cheese and mozzarella. And I'm going, I mean, it's gonna be good, but I remember Lenny saying like, I don't know how good it's going to be. And I asked her what pizza I was like, oh, what kind of pizza you got? I'm thinking she's going to say Stinger. She's like, oh, I just got the plain cheese one. I was like, oh, the margarita. She goes, no, I can't have sauce. I just got the one that was just cheese. And I was like, really? And he was all worried. He's like, oh, I hope they liked it. I hope it came out. All these different things. And this girl was, I must have talked to 30 or 40 people and got a couple different compliments from people who had the pizza. But she was like, she kept going on and on about it. And it was literally the dough, our oil, and mozzarella.
It was the canvas to everything,
That's
right?
it, yeah.
I mean,
I want to shift into the truck as you're speaking about your locations. I know this time last year you guys were in with an outdoor trailer type thing. You guys were stopping at different locations. Now you've officially opened 2-3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me.
May 17th.
May 17th.
May 17th. So
yeah, we're brand new,
man. Yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
month. You guys just opened up. Can you talk a little bit about the food truck? I mean, we've had other people on here with food trucks and stuff. Some of them have been, purchased, and other ones have been made custom to them. You actually built yours 100% yourself, right?
the funny thing about our food truck, so I was just talking about the Newtown Relay for Life, and the way that this came about. I mean, yeah, we had the 10 by 10 tent last year, and we literally started this as, look, let's start this however we can, because this has always been Lenny's dream. He's always, the almost 12 years we've been together, he's always been talking about a food truck. I remember he was talking about a crepe truck, and, you know, at the time I was like, oh, that's a cool idea, and everybody else was like, a crepe truck, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden, like, the next year, Christopher's Crepes is all around Fairfield, and everybody's, I mean, that's a crepe truck, that's what everybody's talking about, and they're still around, you know? Yeah. And so he
I
always...
love crepes. Crepes are good, man.
He's always been kind of ahead of the curve on these things. Like, even some of the recipes he'll come up with, he'll talk about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, we'll give that a try, and then, like, 3 weeks later, we'll see somebody do something like that on Food Network or somewhere, and he's just, it's amazing. And so I was like, look, if we don't do this now, we're never going to do it. Let's have the opportunity to do it. And, I mean, he didn't say it probably because he didn't want to. Look, I lost my job. I mean, the way that things happened, I lost my job. And it was, you know, it stunk that he got hurt, but he was able to stay home and take care of our son. So we didn't have to worry about daycare, anything like that. And he got this awesome time with his firstborn son. Yeah, and then this happened, and it was like, what are we going to do? And... you know, do I just go jump at another bank? He was thinking he could go jump at, you know, find another construction job. And I was like, this is the only time we're going to be able to do this. Let's just do it. Let's give it a shot. And so we did. We ordered a little oven from Italy, and we started with a little 10 by 10 tent, and we started jumping through all the hoops that we had to in all the different cities. And like I said, the first event we did was the Newtown Relay for Life. And there was one other food vendor there, and it was a barbecue truck, and he was at like the top of the track. We didn't really see him that much. I saw him once because I went up to go deliver pizzas, and you know, we worked our whole season, and it was awesome. And then we had the opportunity in October to buy a food truck, and we started looking around, and you're looking, I mean, we had a really small budget. We had a really tight budget. Dude. I mean, people start food trucks. I think, what was it last week? They were talking about the M&M trucks. It was like $100,000 they were saying. I mean, you look at food trucks, $50,000, $75,000. I mean, we're talking, what was our budget like between, I think our final budget that we ended up getting this truck up and running for was under $20,000. Yeah. I mean, to buy the truck and then really, and so we're looking and we're like, you know, you're finding these trucks for $10,000, $15,000, but for what we needed, we had to completely revamp these trucks, and nothing was coming up to the point where we're like, all right, what are we going to do for the winter? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere on Facebook, this truck pops up, and it said Facebook it was in like
has a way of doing that.
It was probably because we were talking about it too much. You know, it just you know, we're looking in the marketplace, and he saw it, and he's like, well, it's in Massachusetts, but let's go take a look at it. And I'm looking at the truck on the Facebook, and I'm like, that truck looks really familiar. And sure enough, it was the barbecue truck that was at our first event. Yeah. Right? I mean, I get goosebumps every time I talk about it. I mean, it was literally, and I'm sitting there and going, I'm pretty sure that's the barbecue guy that was at the other event. And I'm sitting like, I don't want to drive to Massachusetts. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that guy lived in Newtown. And sure enough, for whatever reason, Facebook had him in the wrong location. He's like, yeah, I'm in Newtown. Come check it out. And like within 3 days, we had that truck. Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. And then you can go on about the build, but I just, that, every time I think about that, like I get goosebumps because it's like that truck was at our first. It was at our very first event. I mean, God had that truck picked out and like just there you go. You don't know it yet, but that's gonna be your truck. Like it was crazy to experience that. But I mean,
there's a lot of those things that are peppered into our little journey, and it's only been a couple of years, but like little things like that, and you know, just that's what I mean by just. She said, when are we going to do it? If I go back into banking, if you go do this, then it's never going to happen. Yeah. You just got to do it. And now that we have done it.
Are doing it.
Now, now that we're doing it, I just want to tell everybody, like, do it. Just put it all out there, man. If you really believe in it and that's really what you want to do, something's always going to come up in life. Yep. Mm-hmm. And there's always going to be something where you're going to go, this happened. Yeah. I can't do it.
Just do it.
You know, I'll do it. I'll do it when I get enough money. Man, when you get close to having that money, something happens. Yeah. You know, kids need braces or something, you know. And it's like, you know, well, you never get that chance. You got to just go for it.
And he's not, you know, look, I mean, you said it earlier, we compliment each other. He won't go into it, so I will. This truck, he stripped this entire thing out. I mean, he did masonry. He didn't do electrical. He didn't do carpentry. He didn't do all these things. This guy stripped this entire truck out. It was a barbecue truck. They didn't really cook in it. They had 3-bay sinks, but the guy built them himself. So, like, there were 2 sinks on one side, and then one was kind of pushed off to the other side. And, I mean, it was a cool truck, but the whole entire thing, this guy stripped down. I mean, rebuilt. He built the oven that you see in our truck. He built that oven from nothing. I mean, he built this entire truck himself. And I mean, there were days where, like, how are we gonna do this? I mean, because even trying to find people to help, it was just like nobody's schedules were opening up, and it was hard. I mean, and it still is. I mean, there are days where it's like, how is this gonna continue working? How is this gonna continue sustaining? But it does. I mean, as long as we continue to work it does. But I mean, he literally took this truck and built it, painted it, stripped it, sanded it. I mean, he did such a good job with his truck. To look at it and to see where it came from. I mean, if you go on our Facebook, I think I put up pictures of what it was to what it is now. I mean, look, it's not a $250,000 brand new, stainless steel everything food truck, but to walk in and to see that, like,
it's mom
my
and
husband
pop.
built this, like,
Yeah, that
this is our food truck, I mean, to even like the front of the cab, that's like our little, it's the kids area, once we park, the curtains go up and the kids, it's like a little movie theater for Maddie, and then, Joey will sleep there the whole time, hopefully. Let's hope we can't knock on the table. I don't want to knock on, hopefully, but I mean, to see that and to see, like, this is our family's business. There's an awesome group on Facebook for food truckers, and I remember, like, our first day, we thought we were gonna have a babysitter. Like, even getting things going, like, we thought we were gonna have a babysitter. So we're like, we'll just go out by ourselves, and we'll have a babysitter for Maddie. And once the new baby comes, he'll come with us. We'll figure it out. A lot of it is, there are so many things where I'm like, Lenny will ask me what we're gonna do, and I'm like, we'll figure it out. Like, it'll be fine. It'll work out. And it really has. I mean, figuring things out even with the kids,
It's all about problem solving.
They don't, let me just say disclaimer, the kids never go near the oven. They are always safe.
Yeah, nowhere
but I
near.
mean, to have them on the truck, I mean, like, at the end of the day, when there's things left over, if Lenny's making pizzas to go home, Maddie's up there standing next to him, like, popping the rest of the mozzarellas, he's eating those, and just, with Dad. And it's, to have that and to see that on something that he built, it's like, it really is. And, like, I can't keep talking about it because I'll start crying, but it's like,
it's so great.
It's amazing. And, like, he won't give himself the credit for it, but it really, like, you built that entire thing.
No, yeah.
If you ask me, I think he has the advantage. I'm talking about Maddie, right? Because a lot of these kids are forced to go to college someday and not know what the fuck they want to do. But Maddie's gonna have that entrepreneurship, and he's gonna.
Bringing out his Puerto Rican side.
It's gotta be.
So I think he's got an advantage.
I'm telling you, he was a little salesman. I was talking
He really
to him.
is.
I was talking to him. I said, "Are you gonna make pizzas in the future?" He goes, "Yes." I said, "You gonna make the best pizzas ever?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Look, I have a pizza truck." And he would say, he was standing outside. And he said it with so much confidence, and it was beautiful because he looks at it. He goes, "I got a pizza truck." He goes, "You're gonna make it like that?" He goes, "Yes, I am." And I said, "That's the
Choke
greatest."
me up, man, my little boy.
Your chest.
Yes. I hope not. I think he would beat me.
We were at the bank today, and he
beautiful thing.
literally said, like, they have Food Network on, and he literally turns to the lady, he goes, excuse me, I'm gonna be a chef. And it's just like, to see him say that, and, like, look, if he wants to, that would be, I would love nothing more than to see these two boys, like, take over this business one day, or, however many we have, really just take over. Right. But if they don't want to, they don't want to, but at least they had that experience to see that, like, I don't know if he'll remember or not, but I mean, we really,
they will.
To have
There'll be
this,
pictures.
To have this come up from nothing. I mean, there have been him building it. There were so many days where it was like, what's left in the account? How much is? I mean, there were, and it's like you're sweating it, but it's like
sweating it.
But I'm thinking, like, in terms of the child, right? Like, as a mom also who brings the kids to work and knowing how that feels, like, what we're offering these kids is just an opportunity to kind of, like, value themselves, understand a product, right? Like what you put into something, confidence, like you said. I mean, there's so much people skills which you can't learn from anything else but from interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many, and seeing mom and dad, or seeing mom, or separately or together, working hard is pretty sexy, for them to kind of, like, say, like, this is what This is why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
It's
my
cool.
favorite part of that truck is the back of it. Why? Because there's windows in the back, and you get to see this gorgeous handmade oven from the back of the
I
truck.
can't wait to see it.
And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like-
and then I was there the other day hanging out for a little while they were setting up, and we were talking. I mean, would you say upwards of 4,000 pounds? The
Yeah,
oven is?
she's a beast.
It's a beast. I mean,
Yeah.
this thing is huge. It's the thing. Like, he made it all by hand. Like, it is a handmade oven, and you
job.
get to see it. Like, the back
Thank
portion
you.
of it, there's windows. I don't know if you guys did that on purpose or
Oh,
you
yeah.
were already there, but
Well, no, the windows were there, but it was just like, I wanted people to see that oven in there,
oh yeah,
Like what we're making this pizza for you, like this is a full kitchen in here, like, and it's all about the oven.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have deep fryers. I mean, we don't have, griddles and everything. I love all that stuff.
Literally
It's like a
everything we
playground,
do is in
but
the oven, yeah.
everything's out of that oven. It's showcased out of that oven. It's like the bread, it's a craft. Cooking is a craft, and there's all these little expertise and genres like baking with the bread, but then like being able to take have a chef who knows ingredients and goes, oh, this is sweet and this is this will play off of this and spicy and it'll come all together. It becomes its own little thing, and it's all out of that oven because that's what it's about. Like wood fire. Yeah, this is all wood fire. You're getting everything out of that oven. They did it thousands of years ago. How cool is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that was all part of it to me. Like it was like, well, I'm gonna make pizza. I'm gonna make pizza. Like I don't want to make it like they had. They say, oh, the Neapolitan pizza, the style we did. There's the New York slice, there's the Connecticut slice. There's all different kinds, and they're awesome. We do the Neapolitan, which is with the Pompeii oven. It was done in Pompeii thousands of years ago. I mean, that place got covered with ash and all that. And they uncovered a bunch of it when they excavated it. Excavated. Did I say it right? Okay. and so
I love how you
Ken's
immediately
favorite
turned
word
around
is
and
an
was like,
excavator.
excavator. That's right. So and they found an oven and they actually had bread in it, and they took it out and they deconstructed the whole thing. There's a bread. There's like a 2,000-year-old bread or 3,000, not real old bread recipe that was out of an oven in Pompeii, and it was the same oven that I built. Just some guy built it thousands of years ago, and he cooked it, as good as me. So it was like I wanted to showcase that oven. It's amazing what you can do with an angle grinder. It's like everything, and so.
So Lenny, we are way past our time.
Sorry.
No, let's
Talk too much.
And there's still more questions I wish I could ask, but we'll probably have to do a part 2 to this.
I'd love to.
But
You
listen,
guys are awesome.
Talk about tell the audience how they can follow you.
What? Let me give that to Jen. 'Cause Jen, I just make the pizza. She's the brains. Go on.
Oh, thank you.
Go on. You're awesome.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Proof Pizza Truck. We put our menu up there every week. The secret menu items are going to be posted up there. We'll have, where we're going to be every single week, and then, the days of, where we are. We usually try and put pictures up of exactly where we are. We try and keep a pretty regular schedule during the week, but, I mean, if you know downtown Bridgeport, sometimes you can't find the parking spots, and once you see this truck, you can see that, it fits in one spot, but there's no way this guy is parallel parking it.
22 feet, man, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. So if you work in downtown Bridgeport and you have a couple good spots and you want to give them up, then shoot us a text and maybe you get a pizza for it. But it really is. It's all on the Facebook and the Instagram. And like I said, so Wednesdays we try and be downtown by the courthouse on Fairfield and Main. No, Fairfield and Broad. And then we're on Main Street on Thursdays, right in front of the People's Bank building. For now, once the farmers market starts, we're going to be 50 yards ahead, right in front of on Main Street. So it's funny. We were talking to Lauren. She's like, "Yeah, we'll get you into the farmers market." And I was like, "There's no way this thing is getting up into that. I mean, that's going to take up like 4 spaces. Like, so we're actually going to be right in the front this year. So we'll be right up front over there on Main Street. Fridays we're up in Trumbull, like I said, over at the Bowtie Cinemas. And occasionally we'll do nights there too.
Depending on the movies,
Yeah, so if people are going to get
grab a
going
couple
to see a
slices.
movie, you can come get a pizza on the way out, or come get a pizza on the way in before the movie starts. And
You gotta do
eat
the
it right out
Tuesday
there.
nights. That's where we go to watch the movie.
Tuesday. Can I just? our son, we go there and he knows exactly, especially with Toy Story coming out. We had to do some serious, like, I feel really bad lying to him, but we went in and he's like, Toy Story, are we going to see it? And we're like, no, it doesn't come out till Tuesday. You're gonna go see it with Daddy. But I'm so jealous that they're gonna go see it. Like, it's his first movie. But we're over there on Tuesdays. And then, I mean, if you work, we're trying to find other spots. If people work in, corporate buildings and you're sick of the lunches around you, I mean, just give us a shout on Facebook or on Instagram, and we can work with property managers. We've done that before. Right now we're in Bridgeport, Trumbull. In July we'll be up in the valley, so we'll be able to go to Shelton, Seymour, Derby. We're looking to do some stuff at Bad Sons Brewery, so following us on Facebook and Instagram is the best way to find out where we're going to be, because day to day it might change also.
Changes with the weather, changes with the traffic and events in town.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay up to date on all of their information and wherever they're at, make sure you turn your post notifications on for them. Yes. Proof Pizza Truck. Make sure you turn your post notifications on, so as soon as they put a post on, you'll actually get a notification to tell you, and you'll actually be up to date as to where they're at, what times, and anything that changes due to inclement weather or anything like that.
I'm sorry, talk so much. Next, if you have us on again, we should do like. We should do a secret menu. We should come up with a secret menu item and do the potluck, secret menu item. Or we'll do like some kind. If you want to, we could do secret menu, which that way all the listeners, they'll get the in and they'll be able to get it and tell their friends, and I'll have the late night potluck.
They have to mention the potluck to be able to get it.
Oh, totally.
There you go.
That we're gonna name it that, or something like that, and then it'll be something that we formulate and can only get.
Look forward to that.
Any shout outs? Any upcoming events?
We are, it's a little further down the road, but we're going to be at the next Food Trucks on the River in September. So we're going to be over there. Like I said, anybody who wants us, at their buildings or anything like that for lunch. I mean, we do corporate lunches, everything like that, and we just try and
we're building momentum.
Yeah.
It's just we're still working it all out. We just jumped the next level, and now we're learning how to be on a food truck and really how to get out there. And it's a learning curve, and every town has different regulations, and you have to go, so you got to pick and choose where you want to go. You can't it's not like, I got a food truck, I'm going everywhere. It's not like the great food truck race. You just pull up and start selling. There's guidelines. Every town has their own regulations. You have to get, your certifications in everyone and your licenses. Yeah. So you have to pick and choose. So right now we're just looking at different towns that we want to go in. We're going to be coming into the valley here, and because there's a couple different breweries that we're interested in making, showing off their beers and stuff like that. So just keep a lookout for us, because we're going to be going into the different events. We're going to be hustling and getting out there. So just hope everybody enjoys the pizza, gives it a try.
We will. And definitely, the downtown Bridgeport Farmers Market we were talking about at the beginning of the show is, I think that was one of our favorite farmers markets last year. That and Black Rock and in Bridgeport were some awesome farmers markets. Make sure that you come out to the downtown farmers market when it opens. I think it's July 11th. I keep telling everybody it's the Thursday, the week of July 12th, because I remember it was July 12th last year. I think it's July 11th. It starts off, and we're gonna have some awesome secret menus. But not only that, we're gonna be having the fresh produce too. We're a little bit bigger now that we're in the truck, but it's still the same mentality of really working with the different local businesses, local farmers, and showcasing their items. Really.
That's the most fun is being in those little collaboratives and being in those farmers markets. And
can I piggyback on that?
Yeah.
So the farmers market kicked off today with the Stratfield Farmers Market from 9 to 1 on Saturdays, and as you were just mentioning, as of July 9th, all the rest of the farmers markets will be opening, with the exception of actually next Saturday, Reservoir Community Farm has their first farm stand open. And then from there on the 9th, there's an every day that week, we'll kick off the farmers market. So you can check that out at BridgeportFarmersMarketCollaborative.org. And it has all the dates, times, and locations of all the farmers markets in Bridgeport. So there's 8 this year, with Bridgeport Hospital being the next one in. So it'll be awesome to kind of see, more vendors and more fruits and vegetables.
You got to support your local vendor.
And because we forgot, because it's been a while, how can we follow you?
Sorry. So it's A Pinch of Salt Cooking on Instagram and on Facebook, which no one really uses anymore, is a Pinch of Salt. No, it's Raquel Rivera Pablo. Could I think of a longer name? Pinch of Salt something. But Instagram anyways, A Pinch of Salt Cooking. Thank you.
Manny, what's going on? Any shout outs, any upcoming events?
Shout out all the beautiful people here. No upcoming events for me. Actually, taking Grandma to casino tomorrow.
Oh,
That's awesome.
She's adventurous now that Grandpa's not around. So we're taking her to the casino. She's never been. I think she's like around 70 years old, and she's never been to a
She's
casino.
gonna
Love
hit
it.
it big. You
She's
watch.
never been to a
right?
casino. So we're gonna take her to Jonathan Edwards. This once you guys hear this, it'll already have passed. But we're gonna go to Jonathan Edwards vineyard up near the casinos. One of my favorite vineyards to go to. Beautiful place to have a little picnic and some snacks with some great wine. And then we're gonna take her to Mohegan, hang out, and have some fun. Hopefully she does hit it big so I can go to Puerto Rico with her. 'Cause
Yes.
she's leaving the 25th. She's going back officially. So
Go ahead
she's
and,
going back. You can follow me at _ Theo Fridge, and actually you can follow me on my new page as well. I ventured into, after speaking with the Hangry Italian girl Andrea a couple episodes ago, I know I'd made mention, and I had already been doing a little bit of that on my regular page. So I decided to do an actual one on my my own, an actual business one. It's called Bridgeport Bites, and it's at Bridgeport Bites on Instagram, and I'm focusing on blogging in Bridgeport. Right,
Awesome.
I want to focus on Bridgeport. I looked at the blogging thing. There's a lot of different people throughout the whole state that do it. Yeah. But there was zero in the city of Bridgeport.
Wow.
Right, and even a lot of these major ones don't ever make their way to any restaurants in Bridgeport. I think Lenny and I were talking about this when I was with him the other day. There are so many amazing eateries in the city of Bridgeport.
Oh, yeah.
A million of them. There's
And
tons of them.
what is it?
Birdman Juke Joint just opened up.
On
Which
point.
actually it opened up the same week as, I don't know if anybody even knew this. I didn't know until I passed by it a few days before it opened.
Great.
Blind Rhino
Blind
opened up
Rhino's
Yeah,
a restaurant.
yeah,
in
they're over there
Bridgeport.
too.
Yep.
And they're a great place. I go to the one in Norwalk, and it's just great. And it's like, did they not advertise the fact that they were opening up a Blind Rhino right in Bridgeport? Like, and nobody knew until it was open unless you passed by it. So that's the thing. I want to be able to open
Awesome.
up to a lot of people so they can see what you can get in Bridgeport. I actually talked to a coworker. I'll close out with this real quick. I talked to a coworker the other day. He's from up north 95 past New Haven, and he goes, "You're gonna do it in Bridgeport? What is there to eat in Bridgeport?" He doesn't go. And I said, "Dude, are you crazy? There's this, and I didn't even realize till I started naming it off how many different ethnicities of food there are throughout our city.
Yeah.
Like, there's tons of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can confidently say there's food from every continent in the world
Absolutely.
in Bridgeport.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
African
Oh,
restaurants
yeah.
in Bridgeport.
I think Australia.
No, I'm pretty sure there is one. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna be on a mission.
Maybe
I'm
like
gonna find
Antarctica.
it.
Like I don't think we'd be like penguin meat restaurants.
No, yeah, there's restaurants that do serve items from those
That's really
countries, right? And that is my goal, is to go out there and find these different places, mom and pops, to the big brick and mortars. I'm not gonna go to Red Lobster and all that. All right, I'm not about that life.
Well, and
Yeah,
that's and the
no.
cool thing is like
I'm
when
about that
people
life.
come to
Cheddar
cities like
biscuits.
this, they go to the same places. Like, you know, when it's like as seen on this or as what it's always like the same 4 or 5 restaurants.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see what you're gonna be
Oh,
doing.
I'm going on there. I know you guys were number 2 on my page. I had to shout you guys out. And you know, I want to make it my mission to get people out to come out and see the city of Bridgeport and
Yeah.
what we have to offer
Yeah,
with
that's
food.
awesome.
So if you want, follow that at Bridgeport Bites. I'm working on a website now for it, and we should be good to go soon. Give that a follow, like, share, comment, and let's get Bridgeport on the map.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Definitely.
Rio, what's going on? Hey, give me shout outs or updates. Go ahead.
Well, I dropped my first shipment of products at ShopRite in Milford.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's awesome.
Stop, that real big one?
Yeah, the real big one. That was the main office for that.
That's awesome.
So, follow me at Love the Cake Snacks on Instagram and Facebook.
Ah, it's so cool.
Congratulations.
Man.
Now, they have a shelf for local products. They want to boost local products, so I'm part of that.
That is fantastic.
That's so great.
So now I have somewhere that I can send people that I say, oh, here, try this out. And they're like,
Yeah.
where can I get it?
And get out there and go buy it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Go ahead and follow Dave's Angry Sauce at Instagram, Facebook. Check out the website, davesangersauce.com. I'll also be joining, the Stratfield Market pretty soon, and possibly the Reservoir Farmers Market as well. Follow the Instagram. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know why I always stumble when I say Late Night Potluck Show. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook. Check them out. Like I said earlier, do a search on all the platforms and you'll find us, including YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. All right. Like Lenny said, I'm going to close out with this. Just do it. Show up and fucking do it.
Yep.
All right. No excuses. Peace.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to join us next time.
This is a Gorilla Podcast Network production.